If you're a reader, not to make you panic, but it is December, so we're approaching like the time of year where if you had a reading goal, like you have to reach it. But don't worry, because I have a way to fix it, and it is that I think you should be reading middle grades fiction for the rest of the year. Middle grades books are my favorite. They are quick to read, they are easy to read. They are also made for children who are at an age where they're kind of developing who they are and their character. And so the books have these fun, like cute little plots, but they also have these amazing themes. So the book is about one thing, but it's also about something much deeper. And I think adults could really enjoy those stronger themes, but also apply them in a much deeper way than you can if you're a kid. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to some of my favorite middle grades books that I think grown-ups should be reading. If you're not trying to hear me yap, then all of the books will be in the description. The first book I'm going to tell you guys about is a book called Everything Sad is Untrue by Daniel Nayeri. This book was one of the first books I read this year. This book is still my favorite book I've read this year. It is actually a true story, but the way it's told is young Daniel is standing in front of his class in Edmond, Oklahoma, trying to explain to them who he is and where he's come from. And so this book weaves together three elements. It weaves together the story of Daniel and his family back in Iran. It tells the story of how Daniel came to the United States after having to flee religious persecution in Iran. And then it also talks about Persian myths and legends and how those have to do with the events that have happened in his life so far and how he's made sense of them. So this book is really, it's short, it's sweet. It is written in the most incredible way because it is written for a child. It is written in very simple language, but what he says and how he manages to say it in such simple language is so profound. Like there are so many times I was reading this book, my jaw was just on the floor because this book is so incredibly well written. So yes, it's about a boy moving to the States, but it is also about family and identity and about how the stories that we tell make us who we are and form our memories. My next book is The Terrible Thing That Happened to Barnaby Brockett. This book is so sweet, so cute. It's written by John Boyne, who wrote Boy in the Striped Pajamas. This one is much happier, I promise you. This book tells the story about a boy who lives in Australia, and he was born with a condition where if he's not tied to the ground, he floats away. And his family is very embarrassed by this. They would really like to be a normal family, but they have this boy who floats away. And so one day he is released, and he ends up floating all over the world and goes on all these adventures and meets all these people. And so, like, yes, this book is about a boy who floats, but it is also the story of how to become who you're supposed to be when everybody's telling you to be something else, and how to kind of learn how to be authentic while navigating other people's expectations for you, and also learning how to understand why they have those expectations for you. So I think if the holidays are coming up and if you're going to be around a lot of family, I think this would be a great book to read to kind of kick off some really interesting